Hi guys, and welcome back. It is firmly the end of summer now. It's really starting to feel it up here. It's getting a bit chilly. I know it's been a little while since I updated you, and the garden has gone slightly wild, I'll be honest. So this is not going to be a full tour, but I thought I would just show you updates that we've got, and then I'll get back on regular video making while I try and get a hold of the garden again, so while we prep for the winter. So let me give you a quick update today and show you what you've missed. So where I am now is, I think, the thing I've been most happy with in my first year of growing here, and that is this corn. So we've been eating corn fresh pretty much every day for the last few weeks. I planted about maybe 50 corn plants in here. There's still loads to harvest. They're not perfect. I think there are definitely some things I will change for next year, but they have been delicious and I'm so happy with them. We also had the pumpkins in this patch, and they're currently all lined up outside the house because they've all gone orange and the plants really started to die back. So all in all, this patch here, super successful. The pumpkins were definitely an afterthought. I put the corn in first, and then I thought I'd put the pumpkins in just to try and trail through and keep the weeds down, which they did do. I mean, they did take over a bit. They did swallow up some of the corn, so I think I have to time that slightly differently next year. But all in all, we have a good number of pumpkins. We only had 2 plants, and I think we've got 9 pumpkins curing already, so that's grand. Now the corn, as you can see, it's a bit flattened. We've had a lot of wind up here. These corns took regular beatings throughout the season. I think this one might just be the end of them, which is fine because we're about coming to the end of any sun anyway. So it's probably be about time to get the rest of these harvested and then preserved in some way. In fact, let's grab a couple while we're in here for dinner tonight. So I've just started the process of reclaiming a lot of my beds from either what was left over from the summer or from the weeds that have come in since I last gave this garden proper attention. So as you can see, this bed behind me, I've cleared out most of what was in there. I've left the calendula in because they're still in flower, which is bringing me lots of joy. And in there I've popped some overwintering onions, some shallots and some spinach and lettuce. So we're getting these beds filled back up, hopefully to continue doing our sort of leafy green production throughout the winter, but also some overwintering things as well. So fingers crossed that goes well. So coming over here to the Braska Cage, we've had tons and tons of brassicas out of here this summer, which has been great. We've had a pretty steady supply of broccoli, cabbage and kale. The Brussels sprouts are just heading up now, so we've had a taste of those. I think the best of them will come once it gets a bit colder, but it's nice to have them. But you might be able to see a bit of yellow behind me, which means it has gone a little bit out of hand. A lot of them have gone to flower. So it was purple sprouting broccoli, so we've taken the sprouts as they come up, but at this point in the season they just get really sort of like long and sparse, so at that point I just let them go. So I need to get in there, clear it all out a bit and clear room for the next round, because I've got some seedlings in the greenhouses ready to go straight out here, so that hopefully they can overwinter and then we'll have brassicas early in the spring next year. So you may be able to see the state of the bean arch behind me. I'm going to chalk that one up as failure. Will I be doing a bean arch next year? No, I don't think I will. I have learnt some lessons this year. I'm going to do a video about like all the best things that happened in this garden this year and the worst things. But just a quick one, no, I won't be doing a bean arch next year. But that being said, I do have a lot of drying beans that are still out here. I'm in 2 minds about how long to leave them out here. We're getting a lot of wet weather, and I don't know whether now the beans have formed in the pods, whether I'm better off taking them in and finish them drying inside, or whether I should try and leave them out here for a little bit longer. But I'll have a little think about that. My leeks are coming on alright down there, so I'll just leave them in there and hopefully they'll just carry on as the winter goes. But otherwise it is just going to be a matter of sort of clearing these beds as and when I got the time, and hopefully getting some more stuff in there. I think I will do some green manure and things in here over the winter as well, for any beds where I don't actually have something to go in that I'm intending to overwinter for the spring next year. I'm going to try and cover these beds as much as possible with living manure, and anything I can't do I'm just going to mulch really heavily, and fingers crossed the weeds won't get too bad. The problem I had over the last winter is that it doesn't get cold enough here that we don't really get any hard frost, so the grass doesn't stop growing, the weeds don't stop growing. Obviously in spring you do get a big explosion because it warms up a bit, but the really hardy things manage to grow all year round, so I think really heavy mulch is going to be the name of the game for me this winter. But on the positive side with that, the absolute first thing we did when we moved in was to put the compost bays in and start filling compost, because this land was so overgrown that actually we had loads and loads to start off with in the first few months when we moved in, which was June of last year. So that's all, that pile has been sat over this whole year, and now I think it's probably about ready for me to start using. So we'll be getting our first round of homemade compost on these beds, which feels pretty good. So just to pop here and show you my sunflowers, I had all but written off these sunflowers. So my friend gave me some seeds that I kind of forgot about. No, I planted them as soon as she brought them, but I forgot about the seedlings and they got all leggy and mad at me. And then I ended up shoving them in this field with a view to making this cut flower field. So we had asters in this bed all summer, which were great. I just kept cutting off them and they just kept coming back. But the sunflowers took ages to come back after they got a bit root bound in a seed tray. And so I'd kind of written off all hope, and I kind of abandoned expanding the cut flower garden this year just because these were getting so battered in the wind that I thought realistically trying to put any new seedlings out here. We had a nice June which allowed me to get these things out, but once I'd missed a boat on other things, that was just it was just too rough out here. So anyway, the sunflowers stayed tiny for ages, and I thought I'm not going to get any sunflowers, but we've got some. So that is a nice little bit of joy. I'm just really enjoying a reasonably still, mild evening out here today. It has honestly been so wet and windy for the last couple of weeks that it's been a bit of a chore coming out here, which is, it's not what you want. I know I just gotta get used to it, but it's after you've had the summer and it's all like comfortable and warm and nice, trying to make yourself come out here when you're getting all cold and wet is a bit of a bummer, but it's just getting your mind around the change of seasons. I think I am a summer girl, so I'm never going to like it when it starts getting cold again, but that's part and parcel of it, innit? Right, I've come down here for one last little bit of joy before I wrap this up for today. I think last time I was down here with you I had 5 chickens. Well, now I've got 11 chickens because that happened. We took in some rescue girls from Fresh Start for Hens, which is a hen rescue charity where they take chickens from farms that would be culling this season of hens. So once they reach a certain age, they stop reliably producing an egg every day, and at that point the farm will replace them with younger models. The charity will collect them and then take them to sort of central locations around the UK, and then you go there and you pick them up. So I've been on their list for a while. Obviously didn't get any throughout the summer, so I got bored of waiting, which is how I got the original 5 girls. And then obviously as soon as I brought them home I got the email saying that these girls were ready, but that is fine. We do have the space, as you can see. I'll take care of and see them. Hey girls. Hey you. Hello. So we put this movable plastic fencing up for the girls, so when we're here in the daytimes and we're on the land, they can be out in this space, and it just gives them more space in the daytimes to sort of be a bit more natural and dig around. And obviously there's quite a lot of them to have them contained in the run now, so all the time that they want to be out here, well, especially while the weather's nice. So it was a bit of rocky waters when we first brought the new girls home. Our girls are such sheltered little babies that they didn't know what had hit them when the prison chicks came in. But they all seem to have settled down now, and it is mostly peaceful. Nobody's being too much of a bully, so everything's going okay. Don't you peck me? But yeah, otherwise it's all been wonderfully peaceful in here. I wasn't expecting eggs from the new girls straight away, but to be honest, they've barely missed a day. Got 11 chickens now, and we're getting anywhere between sort of 7 and 10 eggs a day, which is a lot of eggs for 2 people. But We're making it work. We're sharing the love. So the long-term goal is hopefully to get the chickens free range in on throughout the food forest. Obviously at the moment it's not much of a food forest. The fruit trees all went in this year, so everything is quite young and it's quite open and exposed here, so we're just keeping them a little bit more contained and safe, and then we'll see how things go. The beauty of this fencing is that I can up and move it around, so they don't have to just completely decimate one patch, and hopefully we can keep it moving, keep it fresh for them, and hopefully make use of them in some spaces where it helps us out, so clearing beds and things like that. But all in all, I think my first few months of chicken ownership have been very enjoyable. I've loved having them. They are a bit of joy every day. I think I may well expand my poultry keeping next year, but let's see these girls through the winter first. So before the last of the light actually goes, hey bud, that was just a quick little update for you. I will do some more videos going into sort of the details of how things have gone in the food forest this year, in the veggie gardens, just around the land in general, and what my plans are moving forward. But all in all, for our first spring and summer season living here, living this lifestyle, I do just think it's important to stop and think about how lucky I am. I'm absolutely loving it. I really do feel like I'm living the dream, even though I'm going into winter. I am really looking forward to the next planning stage. So hopefully over winter, it's not going to. We're not shutting up shop. As I say, it doesn't get that cold here, so it's not like everything is going to be under snow and we can't do anything. It doesn't get too bad. So there's still loads of projects I want to get to over the winter, especially in the food forest. A lot through the summer was just kind of letting these first year trees grow, trying to keep them alive for that first year, but I've got more plans on what I want to be putting in place over the winter so that we have another good season of growth on this forest next year. And just generally, I think we've achieved a good amount this year, and I'm looking forward to what next year brings. So I will take you along for my planning over the winter, but it's not just planning because there's loads to actually be getting done, so I won't be taking a break, and I will show you as we go. But thanks for stopping by for a quick one today, and I will see you soon. Cheers guys.